This happened to me 6 years ago while I was still in college. I still remember this experience as clearly as yesterday. The incident takes place in Pahang, Malaysia. The campsite is held in the same location as the National Service Program, which fellow Malaysians call the NS Camp or Khidmat Negara. On the first day, we went into the campsite and were introduced to our dorm. The dorm layout is important to the story, so please take note of it. The dorm is very simple in structure, resembling an elongated hall shaped like a rectangle. There are 2 exits at the end of the dorm. Each person has 1 bed and 1 cupboard. The beds are neatly arranged alongside the 2 long sides of the wall, with 1 cupboard between the heads of the 2 beds. I had a friend at the time named Jack. He was slightly overweight. He was short, yet he weighs around 95 kg. He was assigned to sleep on the bed on my left side. When we were shown the dorm, he got excited and jumped onto the bed, cracking the iron netting. This made the bed have an indent in the center, making it very uncomfortable to sleep on. The hole he made was enough for a grown man to fall through. It turns out the dorm is extremely old. The bed frames are very worn out, and some other students also had worn-out beds. They had permission from the teachers to move their mattresses to the floor near the dorm entrance and sleep on the floor by choice. So Jack and other students carried their mattresses and gathered around the entrance of the dorm as their sleeping place for the night. I had a fever at the time, so I had my medicines with me. After placing my medicines and belongings in the cupboard, we were asked to go out to eat dinner and play the team-building games our organizers had prepared. The exact games we played are not important, nor can I remember them. Fast forward to later that night, after all the vigorous activity, I was very tired, had a bad headache, and wanted to sleep as soon as possible. I said good night to Jack and the guys gathered at the entrance of the dorm, then headed straight to my bed and fell asleep soon after. At midnight, my fever got much worse, much worse. I felt chills all over my body. It was a very bad fever, and I needed to take my medicine. I sat upright without my spectacles, felt around under my bed for my water bottle, and then felt for the cupboard handle in the darkness. I opened it, found my medicine, and popped the pills into my mouth. After that, I lay back down, ready to rest. Wait, something was not right. I didn't notice earlier. I saw a person lying beside me in my peripheral vision on Jack's bed. I saw it even without my spectacles. I could see it, a lengthy set of legs. The legs didn't look like they belonged to a normal human. They were too long, too lengthy. If it were a human set of feet, the person would be very tall. The figure's upper body was completely obscured by the cupboard, but I could see a set of legs from the thigh down, just lying there completely still, without any pants. If Jack had moved to the front of the dorm, then who was the person sleeping on his bed? Even if a person wanted to sleep on it, the bed frame had a huge hole in it due to the broken netting. A normal person should not be able to lie on it perfectly straight and still like the figure did. And the figure, or entity, was lying on top of the bed frame. Without the mattress, it was lying directly on the bed frame. Who in their right mind would lie on top like this? I realized, this thing might not be human. I am sure it is not my imagination. I could see the moonlight outlining its toe. It is solid. It is there. I am petrified, unable to move. I feel sick. I want to close my eyes and sleep, but my instinct tells me to keep an eye on it. What if it moves? What if it suddenly attacks me? What if it sits up and looks at me? Maybe I'm seeing things because I'm sick, but I am also curious. What is that thing? Is it my friend trying to pull a prank on me, or is it paranormal? If it is paranormal, I finally have a chance to see for myself. I tell myself, take the chance. Take the chance now or never. Count to 3, sit up and look at this thing. Take a look at its upper body. Then silently, I breathe in and I count. 1, 2, 3. No, I can't bring myself to it. I am too afraid. A figment of my imagination flashes through. What if the entity beside me only has a lower body? What if its upper body is just peering at me above the cupboard? Or looking at it is exactly what it wants me to do. I am petrified. I am really scared. I don't dare to sit up and confront the truth, but I never dare to look away. It just lays there, never moving, like it was dead, never even a bit. Just a straight pair of legs always there. I never mustered the courage to sit up and look at its upper body. Whatever it is, I never get to know. I stare at the entity until I succumb to my illness and fatigue and fall asleep. The next day, I was woken up by the teachers asking us to get ready for breakfast and the activities afterward. There was no one sleeping beside me. I asked the others in the dorm if anyone else had seen the figure the previous night. No one had. After that night, nothing weird happened again. We finished the camp safely and returned home. To this day, I still cannot believe what I saw. Is it me hallucinating due to my fever? Is it some kind of sick prank pulled by my friends? Is it a ghost, or is it some other entity? If I took the chance to sit up and look at the time, I would know. I'm glad I never did. This happened to me when I was in my 20s. I took part in a camping activity with Ling, my best friend at the time. We would always hang out and share our best college times together. Ling was very into camping as well. One day, she found a good camping site in Malaysia and invited me to come along. I will not disclose the actual place, as it might affect the business there. Thank you for understanding. The camping trip lasted for 3 days and 2 nights. Other than us, there were 2 other groups of campers around as well. We made friends, went swimming by the river at noon, and had dinner together with the other campers. We had a very fun first night. By the second night at 11 p.m., the secret activity prepared by the camping organizers was revealed to be midnight jungle trekking. Each pair of participants could only hold 1 candle and finish walking the roughly 200-meter-long pathway. The jungle trekking path was pitch black but properly mapped out beforehand by the organizers. The path also had a red string tied to the trees to guide the participants. There were also staff both at the start and the end of the path to ensure that no one got lost. The organizers assured us that the path was relatively safe, with a very straight and smooth terrain. Participants could join or pull out voluntarily, so there was no forcing to join the activity. The organizers also gave us a stern warning. Don't shout in the forest. When you are in the forest, you are in nature's home. Please respect the environment. As happy-go-lucky college girls, we thought this would be a very fun and thrilling experience, so naturally, we agreed to join. While waiting for our turn, we saw some participants walk the path calmly, some laughing and having a fun time, and some so scared they needed the staff to guide them back outside. The atmosphere was generally easygoing. Finally, it was our turn. The staff at the entrance called us over, handed over the candle, lit it with a match, and told us we could move onto the path when we were ready. We were thrilled to explore, so we walked onto the path almost immediately. With only candlelight, the forest at night was very surreal. I could see bioluminescent fungus on the forest floor and tree trunks, functioning like a natural road light. There were also multiple fireflies around, truly a wonderful sight. We were both in awe of nature's beauty. Just when I thought we were having our own sweet time having a relaxing stroll in the forest late at night, Ling suddenly grasped my hand. I turned around and asked, "What happened?" Ling replied, "Move quickly." I was surprised by Ling's sudden action. We were so happy and relaxed just a moment ago, and now she was eager to end the experience. Maybe Ling saw something that scared her. So I asked, "Do you see anything that scares you?" Ling nodded. "Where is it?" I asked again. Ling, without saying anything, let go of her grasp and wrapped her arm around my waist, hugging me tightly. I could feel her shivering. She was in fear. I could tell it's genuine, but I was also curious about what she saw. "What did you see? A snake? Owl? What animal is that?" I asked. She squeezed me even tighter and said with a voice, almost crying, "Please just move. Get out of here." I was taken aback by her sudden change of behavior. I looked around carefully. Maybe she saw a snake or some predator lurking around without us noticing. But I saw nothing. I had no choice but to continue walking while holding onto the candle. Following the red line, we finished the path pretty quickly, and we reached the end. The staff at the end of the path collected our candles, checked us for injuries, and the male staff even comforted Ling a little. Ling was crying at that point, but she still didn't want to tell what she saw. After this night, Ling was visibly shaken and would not talk much for the following days. What could scare her so much? I had never seen her in this state. Fast forward a few months later, when we were having lunch together after class. I remembered the incident and decided to ask her again. This time she told me what she saw. In the first half, when we first entered the path, Ling saw a vaguely oval shape on the tree because it was so dark, and in the distance, approximately around 100 meters deep into the path, she could not make out what the thing was. As we got closer, the silhouette got bigger and resembled an upside-down human, hanging high up on the tree, easily 6 meters above the ground. When we walked below it, the silhouette was still so dark that Ling could not make out any features besides it being clearly human-shaped. Just as we walked past the silhouette, although without any features, it could be seen making a turning motion on the tree, as if turning to face us. At that moment, Ling was already scared and hugging me, asking me to move. The silhouette acted as if it had heard us and started shaking vigorously on the tree, just like a man-sized cocoon wanting to free itself. I remember I did turn back and scan around. I could not see the silhouette. The position of the thing that Ling described should have been easily spotted, but I did not see anything. I am glad I didn't. Thankfully, nothing bad happened after the encounter. What was that thing on the tree? Did the organizers know of its presence? What was its intention? I think we will never know.